Welcome to Mama Beyond Sight. Inspirational thought of the day, my lovelies. Welcome, welcome, and glad to see you here. Let's speak about many people might know the Serenity Prayer, and let's analyze that in our daily lives. Um, it goes, God, Source, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I can't, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And let's add in there, uh, teach me, teach me how to love. Teach me how to love with um, an open heart. Teach me how to love unconditionally, right? I've heard this prayer so many times in my lifetime, and it was not too long ago where I started to break down the sentences. And let me know, what do you think? How do you feel about this prayer, or um, its origin? Because it's not actually in the Bible, right? But the words that are placed together just rings so much in our lives as accept the things that I cannot. You know, how many of us have gone through life just, you know, hoofing and hollering, I want, or this didn't work out the way I wanted to, you know, and come to find out it didn't work out anyway, right? No matter how much we hoot and holler and yell and scream, or try to recondition a person, you know, to to be how we want them to be. And no, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, you know. And with acceptance brings freedom. It's okay, you know. That person did not walk at your beck and call, you know. They weren't supposed to. They weren't supposed to, you know. This is all about you. This is all about me. Keeping the focus on I. Accept the things that I cannot change. Many times, these things that we cannot change are lessons in life. It only brings us to a higher plane in our life, in our spirit. Okay. Without trials, we are just walking around banging heads, right? The courage to change the things that I can. Wow. How many people have courage to see some um, mishap, or some person that has a misfortune, and you turn your blind eye because you fear of the backflash. You know, you fear of what would happen. You know, you might help that person. That person might uh, get angry at you. That person might, um, I don't know. There'll be some negative repercussion, right? But sometimes if we don't have the courage to change the things that we can, um, the world is so ugly now, my lovelies, because of this one uh, gathered words. You know, there's a saying that goes, it takes a village to raise one child, you know, and we don't see that anymore. We don't, this is notions of yesteryears, you know, when your neighbor saw you um, coming out of school at the time you were supposed to, or you was gearing away from your path, and the neighbor will correct you or bring you home themselves. You know, this was done out of safety and out of um, courage of changing the things that they can. You know, and we no longer see that in this lifetime, which is a shame. Yeah, change the things, the courage to change the things that we can, and sometimes we don't use discernment, and you know, we say that this applies only to others when we should be keeping the focus on self. Because if I do not have the courage to change the things that I can within me, I can't help you out. You know, it's like my saying, when you shine your light out into the world, make sure the light at home shines bright and strong. You know, we must stop beating ourselves down, you know, and feeling less of, and start changing the things that we can, because we can get up from that shit part. We can um, reach out for something better. You know, we can. We can. The wisdom to know the difference. That's a biggie, right? The wisdom to know the difference. You know, sometimes we think that we're doing good for a person, and or the person does not want your assistance, don't want your inspirational words, don't want your suggestion. you know, and we need to know the difference. And that not um, get offended or feel uh, less of, or feel not wanted. The wisdom to know the difference, you know, between helping and, you know, letting go. Yeah. Because not everyone is meant to adhere. Not everyone is going to sit and mold in these words, or be open enough to accept help. So, the wisdom to know the difference, my lovelies. And lastly, that I threw in there, you know, learning how to love without expectancy, learning how to love openly, and learning how to love and let go. Once again, not everyone is here for our long ride, or not everyone is here to accompany us on this journey. We have some people that come in and out of our lives. We have some people that will teach us and go halfway down that path. And then you have that person that will go with you to the last line of that journey. It's like a prayer, or it's not a prayer, it's a saying that I heard. Do not follow me, for I may not lead. Do not lead, for I may not follow. Take my hand and walk beside me, and together we will rise. Right? Learning the difference in love, and what's in the forefront is learning how to love self, because you can't give me what you don't have, my lovelies. Learning how to love self, learning how to accept self with the things that you can't, learning how to accept self, having the courage to change the things that you can. Knowing yourself will give you that wisdom to know the difference. My lovelies, I am your host, and my name is Sandra. Thank you so much to my new subscribers, my old subscribers, and stay tuned. Be blessed and be well, my lovelies. Once again, I am your host, and my name is Sandra. Come on, smooches. Plug you first here.